So who is this intended for? Well, this particular PowerPoint presentation is part of a workshop. It's a half-day workshop we have done for human resource professionals. Typically, it's a free invite only to human resource individual companies or groups. And we give them the format, what's involved, and so that they can have a little more information on their heads up and take it back to the companies to see if 5 behaviors training is something that they want to facilitate themselves or bring us into the fray to facilitate for them. So, what is a team? This is just a brief description of who it's intended for. A team is a relatively small number of people. Anywhere from 3 to 12 people is the perfect size for this type of training. They are people who meet on a regular basis and are collectively responsible for results. Collectively is a key word in that phrase. The team members share common goals as well as they reap the rewards and the responsibilities for achieving them. I really like that video. Yeah, especially about the part where he talks about being able to affect people when they leave the office. That would be an awesome goal for us all to have. So what if there was a way to measure if a team actually trusts one another, engages in healthy conflict around ideas? We'll talk about healthy and unhealthy as we move along. Commits to decisions, holds one another accountable, and focuses on achieving collective results. Understanding a team's behavior. When we add in the everything DISC model, team members really begin to understand each other's behaviors. And we can move on from judging to respecting to valuing those differences. The assessment on everything DISC provides a deep insight into each team member's needs and communication or behavioral style. And with this information, we can better understand, or you can better understand yourself and your teammates. You'll also understand how to make simple adjustments to your own style so you're effective. Some of us seek harmony, others of us seek acceptance, some of us seek action, and some of us seek facts. So team members prioritize collaboration to seek harmony on the team. Others may prioritize relationships to seek acceptance on a team. We can focus on the 5 behaviors of a cohesive team. The model will help you understand how your team behaves as a unit and how the team can change as a whole to be more effective or work more effectively together and achieve good results. The next slide is a video that's going to last just over 3 minutes. Enjoy. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that video. It's kind of funny. I love the reactions on the actors' faces from the start of the video to the end of the video when they've changed their behaviors. So just going to recap the 5 behaviors model. The foundation for the program is trusting one another. Engage in conflict around ideas. Commit to the decisions the team has made. The ability to hold one another accountable. And then to be able to focus on results. So I'm going to talk a little bit about where do we get all the data from that this 5 behaviors program is based on. And it's based on the assessment. Everybody would have done the assessment prior to the training. And it's essentially set up in two stages. The individual DISC style, there's questions that are basically based on the individual, and then there's questions that are specific to the team data. So it's a profile. It's pretty powerful. Each individual responds to questions about their personal preferences, and then they have specific questions to the team, the current team that they're working under. Then a report is generated for each person containing both the individual data and their styles and the team data. We'll review the report. We're not going to go through the whole report, but we'll highlight a few of the pages so you have a better idea of how powerful the assessment incorporates both individual styles and team data. When team members are genuinely transparent and honest with one another, they are able to build vulnerability-based trust. Well, we're going to talk a little bit about what vulnerability-based trust is. And through the rest of this presentation, I'm going to give some samples of some activities that are performed in the facilitation, whether you're doing it yourself or you're having us to come in and do it, just to give you a snippet of ideas on some of the activities to get the group involved. So again, you can get your 5 behavior sample report right here. On page 4, we see a summary of your team score in the 5 areas that we talked about in the model. In this example, notice the red signals a low score. Scores are red is low, yellow is medium, green is high. This particular team is in trouble because of their low score in the first parameter of trust. And throughout it, we can see how the team scores on each behavior. So moving on from page 5, we're going to take a quick look at pages 6 and 7. On pages 6 and 7, we have more detailed information about the team score on each of the trust items. We can see a range of responses, which is enlightening, especially if there's a wide range of responses. And the accompanying narrative for each item provides some clear insight into how each team actually sees itself. So the everything DISC model that we've used as part of the assessment, it's introduced on pages 8 and 9. The facilitation resources provide additional information for teams who are not familiar with DISC, including an introductory video. Participants will learn about their DISC styles and begin to see that other styles may be different than their own. And it's probably the first opportunity they'll have to begin to understand how their DISC style influences behaviors, especially as they begin to focus on a vulnerability-based trust. Now moving on to page 10 is interesting. It's a DISC map. We can see the whole team's DISC map, and if you look at the sample example here, the initials of the participants are included and where they fall, where their styles fall with everybody on the team. This helps the participants see how similar they are and also how different they are. This graphic can be generated as a poster from the Epic account that you'll be involved and have access to by completing this program. It's often companies will print this off and keep it in their rooms, wherever they have their meetings, conference rooms, or in their office. It's quite a powerful tool because it has the needs and wants of each individual style. Okay, on to page 11. Each participant also answered a question on the team's culture when it comes to trust. They responded to the statement, this specific statement: there would be more trust in our team if people, by selecting as many of the actions listed as they wanted. For example, on this team of 8, 7 of the 8 people indicated that they would be more trust on the team if people reduced the amount of time gossiping. Using this dynamic question at the bottom of page 11, the facilitator can guide a discussion about how teams can minimize gossip. This module ends with a summary and an action plan for building vulnerability-based trust within the team. So Patrick believes when there is trust, team members are able to engage in unfiltered, constructive debate of ideas. Now, trust is obviously the foundation of our model. And only when you have this foundation of trust on a team can the team members have that healthy debate and conflict. Engaging in unfiltered and constructive debate is the key component of a cohesive team. As we move on in the 5 Behaviors report, this slide shows that on page 16, which comes in a poster in the facilitation kit. Poster size is pretty interesting dynamic here. We all have healthy behaviors depending on our style, and this graph shows when a healthy behavior can kind of be pushed to the limit to become an unhealthy behavior. I'll give you an example. I'm a strong D style. I sometimes take too much pride in addressing issues head on, but then when it becomes an unhealthy behavior, sometimes I say things that I'll regret. In my case, it's for the most part I don't put enough thought into thinking before I'm speaking. But depending on our styles, and your own styles will come up, and the team styles will come up in the reports. Give you a few examples of when a healthy behavior can become an unhealthy. As I said, I'm a strong D. So if you went to an I style, that's somebody who expresses their feelings, which is a good thing. But sometimes they can become overly dramatic when expressing their feelings and get off topic. Or if you're an S style, that's somebody that likes to listen to other people's perspective. But often cases it becomes an unhealthy behavior when they don't speak up for their own needs. And then finally in the C style, they're the people that focus on the logic and be an objective for the most part all the time. And in some cases they'll overpower their logic with the facts. So the next, I'm going to deviate again, and I'm going to give you a sample of an activity that is used in the classroom environment. But this, as you can see, this is on page 16. It will reference that after this activity as well. So you can see on this map the conflict hotspots, outlining each style where it becomes a healthy to unhealthy behavior in more detail. So now we've explored healthy conflict. It really sets the stage for commitment. People that have the opportunity to share their ideas, their thoughts, and be heard and know they've been heard. It's important, though, to understand that commitment does not equal consensus. People don't always have to agree. People can disagree, but having had healthy conflict, they will have the opportunity to share their opinions, and it's important that everybody feels like their opinions have been heard. In this way, we can all commit to the team's decisions. So where do we go from here? I'm really hoping that as a result of your research online, maybe looked at the webpage and gave me your valuable time watching this webinar, you'll reach out and want to become part of my 5 Behaviors community. My contact information is right here, cell phone, email, and the website address. Keep in mind the website's fairly new. We're going to be adding content to it as we go. And we are also be adding testimonials from our partners, some of our partners programs, and from our current list of Canadian customers when we get more facilitations done live one-on-one, and we'll get some more self-facilitated testimonials as soon as we can as well. So please reach out to me and become part of my community. One more bonus I wanted to give to you. Now, there is an ebook and an Audible book that is not available. I can't send it directly. I was trying to as a bonus for watching this program, but it's sold through or it's presented through a different publication house. So you can get a free version of the audiobook on the 5 Dysfunctions of a Team from Patrick if you're willing to go to Amazon and do the trial, do the 30-day Audible trial, and that gives you access to both the Audible book and the electronic book. So we've had folks go on and join up for a month, listen to it, or read the ebook, and then cancel. Unfortunately, with this particular program, you can't save the file. So, but it gives you a great idea of what the 5 behaviors of a cohesive team is about, because it's based on that book. That book just happens to be called The 5 Dysfunctions of a Team. So I hope there's lots of bonus material that you enjoy. I hope you enjoyed this slide presentation. Please give me an email for feedback, and I hope you have an awesome day. Thank you again.